Hang on a sec. Here we go. Evening, folks. Welcome to Mansfield Town News and Views. Apologies about the delay there. I'm not quite sure what was happening there, but main thing is we're on and here we are. And as always, guys, we've got a lot to discuss in tonight's episode. We're going to be discussing the Sunderland win in the FA Cup, which took us through to the second round, where we faced Doncaster Rovers, which we'll be talking a little bit more about as well later on. We'll also be talking about the Newcastle game as well last night in the Papa John's Trophy, where the Stags won 6-3, and Danny Johnson hat-trick. A lot of youngsters involved in that one. Great performance all round, and so many positives to take from that game, as well as we're going to look ahead to the Stevenage game as well. So, as always, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below and on matters. But we're going to start off by talking about the Sunderland win. Where else to begin? What a fantastic win and performance. To go there twice in 2 consecutive years and to get a result at Sunderland to see us through into the next round is phenomenal. We took a really good support up there, and we deserved the win on the day. Like I say, despite how we have been this season, the players really worked their socks off, and we did well to get a result up there in the FA Cup. And again, it just shows us what this team is capable of doing. And hopefully now this can be a stepping stone for us to go on a good winning run now. And again, what a fantastic win that was. So let us know your thoughts as well on the Sunderland game, what your thoughts was on that for that game. As I say, it's every player worked the socks off. It was a really well done performance, and again, it's always good to have a good cup run. When you look at Sunderland this season, they had a better start to how they did last season, and yet we still went up there to get a result. So credit the players for that, and it was great to come back from a game with a win, because that's our first win away of the season. So, it was a long time coming, but, credit the lads, and again, Rhys Oates again carried on his goal scoring form in front of the goal, capitalising on the Sunderland goalkeeper's mistake. And again, we deserved all 3 points. I thought one player in particular that impressed me as well. They all impressed, to be honest, everybody and impressed that played that day. But another player that really stood out was John Joe O'Toole. To say it was his first appearance in the team, he slotted in there really well. He was really solid there as well. So, that was another good sign as well that we've, he's impressed so far on his first start. And to keep a clean sheet is even better. So yeah, all in all, a fantastic day. Just going to get down to some of your comments here. Evening, Chris. Hope you're well. Yes, mate. Really good. Thanks. I think both sides, ourselves and Carlisle, were both doing quite well. We're on a winning runs at the minute, so it's a great turnaround, to be honest. Obviously, both sides we've struggled to get any consistency going, but touch wood, we're doing all right so far. But yeah, all is well. Mansfield seem to have Sunderland's number. Yes, we do. We also have Newcastle's as well, so fancy beating Sunderland and Newcastle under 21s, it's fantastic. But no, like I say, we deserve the win against Sunderland and Newcastle because, like I say, the work rate was there. We went toe-to-toe with them. And again, we were solid throughout the match. And again, it's twice now in consecutive seasons where we've gone up there and we've got a result. So yeah, everybody, we deserve the result there. And as I say, let's hope we can get the similar kind of thing against Doncaster. Let's get to answer your comments. Let's have a look. Coleman at the Sunderland game, well deserved win, brilliant. Yes, it was absolutely. The players they ran the socks off. They really, was organised throughout the match. And again, we restricted Sunderland from taking many shots and that. So, yeah, it was fantastic. I can't say any more than that. Again, the players show once again what they are capable of doing, and it's great that they're now we're starting to show a bit of consistency going now. But yeah, all in all, a fantastic day at the office against Sunderland, and it's a great way to book our way into the second round of the FA Cup, which we'll be talking more about as well later on in the podcast. But yeah, as I say, guys, phenomenal result to get another good result up there. Let's get down some more of your comments. Evening, Paul. Evening, Pete. Thanks for joining us. Chris, just my usual self, thanks. As everyone knows me, happy about Carlisle winning last 2 games. Only way is up for both of us. Hopefully, Chris, hope so. Yeah, like I say, both our teams have been unlucky for large parts of this season. We've not really been nowhere near good enough, but thankfully, in the past few weeks, we've started to pick up a bit of form now, and yeah, again, let's just hope we can carry it on. If anything, we'll talk more about the Newcastle game last night on how we dominated that. To come back from 2-1 down to win 6-3, which we'll talk about later on. But yeah, just phenomenal. 3 wins on the bounce for us. Confidence is really high at the minute, and we're starting to look like we're on a good run of form at the minute, and I just hope we can just carry that on into the league, really, if anything. But like I say, we'll talk more about that later. But yeah, and obviously last night, the win against Newcastle under-21s. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really in favour of that competition, the Papa John's Trophy or the Checker Trade, whatever you want to call it. But, it's like I've said before, though, one thing it is good for is giving the younger players a chance to show what they're about, and your fringe players an opportunity to play as well, get some minutes under the belts. And again, even though the result meant nothing last night, both teams were already out of the competition, it was still good to get a win. It doesn't matter who you're playing or where you're playing, it's getting wins. That's what matters. That's what breeds confidence. And again, people that went to the game last night were saying how much the younger players really impressed. James Gale is a player that we're not long signed, and he performed really well from what I've heard, which is a good sign. Another good young promising player as well. And along with some other younger players, Tyree Sinclair again. He impresses every time you see him. And again, it's just great to see young players be given a chance, to be honest with you, and just hopefully we can just, as I say, carry on this winning run that we're on, to be honest. And like I say, we've just got to keep that momentum up, to be honest. And again, it's just about us being able to try and maintain that. But yeah, like I say, you can only beat who's put in front of you. That's all you can do in football. So it was great to see us get a win last night. It is so. Yeah, but I mean, like I say, Danny Johnson as well, getting a hat-trick as well, the first for the club. I mean, he's another player, Danny Johnson. We know he's got goals in him. We know, how well he did for Leyton Orient last season and what he's capable of doing. So it was great to see him get a hat-trick as well, which will do his confidence no harm at all. So, you've got to think he's probably going to be in Nigel's thoughts at the weekend as well. And again, it's just about confidence football. We've said this so many times on the podcast, but it's just about the players getting the confidence from winning games and just taking shots off and just not being afraid to take risks. So, it's great to see there. And again, if we can keep on doing that, then we'll soon climb up the league table, hopefully. So, yeah, all in all, it's just great to be coming on here talking about 3 wins rather than just a defeat, really. So, yeah, absolutely buzzing at the minute, and it's about time we actually started to get some wins on the board. So, long may that continue. Let's get some of your comments, guys. Chris, once you get a win, gives you confidence boost. Yeah, it does. That's it, Chris. Yourself as a Carlisle fan, since new managers come in, you get a couple of wins, and then all of a sudden, a couple of wins, and then you go up halfway the table. So that's it. A couple of wins, and that's it. You're up there. But yeah, as I say, it's just great to see. In the Papa John's Trophy. This is how much I care about the competition, but it's great to see the younger players be given a chance to show what they're about as well. Chris, under 21 teams being introduced ruin the EFL Trophy, in my opinion. Oh, 100%. It's just to cater the Premiership. That's why I'm not in favour for it. And if they kept it like the old format, I think a lot more people will go to the games. But it's just I'm not really for that. For the Premiership under 21s, I think it's like you say. I think it's the worst thing they've ever done, to be honest. But anyway, that's just how it is, and it's just the way it is, unfortunately. But I think they should put it back to their old format, if I'm honest with you. But I don't think they will now. They've implemented this now. But hey ho, the most important thing from our point of view is just the FA Cup run and focusing on in the league. Really, that's the way I look on it. Let's have a look. More of your comments. Get some more of your comments. Right, there we go. Paul, any win can only spur the players on. It keeps the momentum going. Well, that's it, Paul. And like I keep saying, and like others have said as well, it doesn't matter who you play. If a win's a win, and end of the day, whether it's in a pointless competition or a friendly match, it doesn't matter. If you just get that winning feeling going into games, being confident rather than coming off the back of a few defeats, you know what I mean? So beating Sunderland in the FA Cup, again, would have been a massive boost to them, facing against a team above who's had a quite decent start to their season, and we've gone up there twice in consecutive years. We've beat them to go through to the next round. So the players must have confidence from that, and obviously in our slight against Newcastle under 21s, the likes of your Danny Johnsons and the players who haven't played much first team football will have given Nigel Clough food for thought going into Saturday as well. So yeah, just so much positivity, and it's about time we had some wins to talk about for a change, and I just hope we can continue this momentum we've got going, to be honest. That's the biggest thing, really. And if we can, then hopefully we'll soon climb the league table. Let's have a look. Cole Marniman, I know it makes money for the club. Don't agree with the format. Under 21s in the competition, but a win's a win. But the attendance shows how the interest has dropped off. Yeah, 100%. Like I say, it's good for the younger players and, your fringe players or players that need minutes under the belt. It's great for stuff like that. It is. And, it's good to see, players performing well in it, and it is. But as you say, though, it has dropped off, like the attendance, like you mentioned there, and it just puts a lot of fans off, but at the same time, I still want the club to do well in every competition that we're in. Let's be honest, if we did well in the Papa John's Trophy, if we went through to the group stages, we went through to the next round, a lot of people will go to them, and I'd be one of them, to be fair. I'd hold my hands up, I would. If we got far in that competition, a lot of fans, I think, would take an interest if you've got a chance to go into Wembley. But the main ones where it's at is the FA Cup, if you can have a good run in that, as well as focusing on the league. But no, like I say, the format just stinks for me, to be honest. They should have just kept it how it was, but just anything to compensate for your Premiership teams. That's that's the way I look on it. But hey ho, it is what it is. Let's have a look. Chris, to be honest, our 2-win away at League One Morecambe was meaningless, as we already qualified and Morecambe were already out. But at the end of the day, I take it to build momentum. It's the same for any team in our position. Well, it is. I mean, I was talking to a Stevenage fan yesterday, which, by the way, I'm going to be putting a Stevenage interview on tomorrow night. I interviewed a Stevenage fan last night, Mike, previewing the game as well. So I'll be putting that up as well tomorrow night. I've just got to finish editing that one, but I'm going to be putting that one up as well. And you've probably seen it by the look of the background on the screen. I've been quite busy, so I've been quite busy with stuff, to be honest. So I'll be uploading that tomorrow. But yeah, we've just we were saying the same thing, really. Is doesn't matter what competition you're in, a win's a win. And when you're when you're in a situation like what we're both in, where we've struggled for a lot this season, you'll take any win anywhere just to give you confidence. Simple as that, you know what I mean? It's simple. Let's have a look. All of your comments, guys. Evening, Ross. 100% agree, Mark. Danny was brilliant last night, and that will do his confidence a world of good. Well, yeah, that's it. And this is it. You know, goals breed confidence. I know it's an old cliche in football, but it's true. You know, you win any game of football, and all of a sudden, everybody's got that buzz, and when you get that winning feeling, you just want more of it. And hopefully now, like I say, we can just keep that momentum up, really. You know, we know what the players are capable of. Danny Johnson, for example, because you don't just go into score double figures for you to be rubbish, because there is a good player in there, you know, and he showed that last night, what he is capable of doing. I mean, he said so himself after the game, he's not been good enough and he has missed chances. And he'll know that better than anybody, that he hasn't, you know, done well enough at this stage of the season. But the beauty of it is, you know, we're still only in November and there's still so many games for him to put that right. So, you know, getting any player getting a hat-trick, any striker scoring any type of goal will do him a world of good. So hopefully now we'll start to see what Johnny Johnson's really made of, you know, because again, you don't just score that many goals to not attract that many interest. So hopefully he'll kick on from that. Let's have a look. Paul, I'm very hopeful for a good result on Saturday, Mark. Yeah, I mean, we'll go into it full of confidence, you know, coming off the back of three wins, you know, through to the second round of the FA Cup. You know, a fantastic result again, a few weeks ago against Tranmere in the league 2-0, as well as obviously the result last night against Newcastle. So, yeah, I mean, you know, we're going into the game full of confidence. But these are the kind of games that you really want to get something out of. I mean, all due respect to Stevenage and, you know, same for Scunthorpe, you know, the teams around us. But they're the teams that you want to be beating, the teams around us, because you don't want to all of a sudden, you know, be losing to teams around you, because that puts more pressure on you. So these are the kind of games that you really want to win. We know we're more than capable of doing that. You know, just hope we can just carry on what we've been doing in the past few games, really. You know, performing well, being organised, and just taking our chances. You know, and if we can do that, then again we'll soon climb up the league table. But yeah, absolute confident going into this weekend's game. I think it's the first time I've said that this season, if I'm being totally honest. I think it's the same for a lot of other Mansfield fans. You know, we're generally confident going into it, thinking we've got a chance here, you know, and I think it's one of them. It's a bad time to play us, really, when you think of the confidence we're in at the minute. So, yeah, I don't see why we can't go down there and, you know, get a result, really. Just going to get down to some of your comments. Chris Morecambe still played their strongest team too, so I was happy with that win. Well, even better, you know, if they put a strong team out and then you beat them, that's even more better, isn't it? You know, so great stuff, that, Chris. Brilliant stuff, mate. Pete, have we at last turned the corner? Quinn coming back into the side has certainly given the side a boost, making captain. I've said this for weeks, Pete. I've said this for so long, since Quinn's been here at the club, even more so since he's been back from his injury. You know, he's the kind of player that commands respect, but commands the ball. You know, he's always being vocal, and they're the kind of players that you need at your club, especially when you're in situations where doing so well. But yeah, I agree 100%. You know, give Quinn the captaincy 100%. And again, it's nothing against Ollie Clark, but I think Stephen Quinn will be better in that role. If I'm being honest with you, you know, he's been captain at the past at Hull, among other clubs he's been at as well. So yeah, I'd make Quinn captain every single day of the week. I really would, in a heartbeat. But yeah, like you say, he's been an improvement since he's come back into the side. But we knew how much of a massive player that he was for us when he was out, because you could see when he wasn't in the midfield, you know, the midfield wasn't as stable. We weren't getting as many chances, and he's really added to that. He's made us more well balanced in the midfield, you have to say. You know, so yeah, 100% agree with that one. I'd definitely make him captain. But it's a question if Nigel will do that though. But yeah, 100% agree. I'd be the same. Let's have a look. Ross, must say last night I thought the whole back line played really well, and John Joe O'Toole looks a great player alongside Will Forrester. Yeah, it's great to hear. Like I say, it's really good to hear that. Like I say, not only did the younger players play well, but as well some of the other players we haven't seen at all. Like John Joe O'Toole and Will Forrester. And the other thing about John Joe O'Toole as well, he did well to score a goal as well. So he looks to be a good signing so far. I mean, obviously you don't want to get too carried away with anything. Of course you don't, but it's just great to see a player come in such a short space of time to perform well at Sunderland away. And again to have a good game last night, as well as get himself a goal. It's all positive stuff, but. Yeah, if he could keep himself fit, John Joe O'Toole, he could be a really good centre half for us. I mean, from what I've seen and heard of him so far, he does seem a good signing for us. Experienced at this level, knows the league, knows the players, and he does seem so far to be a really good signing for us. And long may that continue. You know, and again, Will Forrester, another player that was his first game last night. In a Mansfield shirt, he's been obviously injured at the start of the season, and so he's only still getting into the swing of things. But hopefully he's another one that can really slot in defence as well. But so yeah, it's again. I mean, that's the other thing as well. We've got Ryan Stirk as well. He's come back from his injury as well. He's slowly coming back into things. So he'll be another player that's going to improve us. So yeah, we are getting players back that will hopefully improve us even more and take us to that next level. We hope so. So much positivity. Like it's about time. But yeah, it's great stuff. Chris, completely agree. It's good to play young players and fringe players. That's what all EFL trophy is for. Well, it is. I mean, we made 10 changes to the lineup last night that played against Sunderland. So, to be fair to Nigel there, we did say a couple of months ago that we're not really bothered about the EFL trophy. So I admire his honesty, to be honest with you, because a lot of fans don't, because of the format like we've spoken about and just focusing on the FA Cup and the league, really. So yeah, that's the only thing it's good for. That's it. If I'm being honest with you, because let's be honest, every club in this division wants to do one in the league, and as well as have a good FA Cup run if they're in it. So I think they're the main focuses for fans, really, to be honest. But no, it's great to see the young players being able to perform well and giving them a chance. So yeah. Let's have a look at more of your comments, guys. Let's have a look. Paul, good evening, Paul. I'm impressed with JJ O'Toole. Yeah, a lot of people have said that, and like I say, he's only been here only a few weeks, and he's slotted in quite well back there as well. And usually it takes players quite a while to settle in, but he's come in and it's like he's been playing there a few seasons now, and yeah, he's done well, and credit to him. And who knows, maybe he could be that missing centre half that can really be that solid unit back there alongside Faz Rawson and Elliot Hewitt when he's fit. So who knows, if he can keep putting them kind of performances in week out, then it could prove to be one of the signings of the summer, depending. But yeah, really impressed with him as well. So long may that continue for him. Let's have a look down some of your comments. John, good evening, John. Donny away, winnable, tie for sure. We always said it would take on one or two big wins to get our confidence back. Well, yeah, that's it. That's all it does take in football, usually for teams, just to get a couple of wins on the bounce, and all of a sudden your confidence is high, and then teams go on a winning run, and touch wood, we're doing that so far, and hopefully we can keep it up. But just on your point with Doncaster Rovers, I think it's a great draw, to be honest. I mean, they're not doing so well in League One. It's local for us. Yes, you'd have preferred it at home. Obviously, you'd prefer a home draw, of course you would, but it's not the worst draw we can have. Like I say, they're in a poor run of form as well. So again, it's a winnable game, to be honest with you. I think it is. I think it's such a good chance for us to get through to the second round. And if we can perform like we did against Sunderland in the first round, then we've got a chance, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game. I mean, the only thing we're not sure on yet is obviously when the date is. I don't think it's going to be on the Saturday because I think Barnsley's playing Huddersfield or there's some kind of Yorkshire derby, so I don't think it's going to be on the Saturday. But at the time of recording this podcast, we don't know that for sure until the club comes out and says officially. But I don't know if it'll be on a Saturday or not, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, and it's going to be another great atmosphere as well. The fans are going to really pack the away end out, and I'm really looking forward to it. Doncaster Rovers away. I'm really looking forward to that one, and I'm sure many others are the same watching this. Let's get down some of your comments, guys. Right. Paul, time to get rid of Bowery. There were times last night that he looked like he was just jogging on that pitch last night. I mean, don't get me wrong, Bowery was good last season. I thought, getting 10 goals last season, and his goals did help us in a bad season, to be honest with you. And, I think it was, I think he had a decent season last season, but this season he hasn't really shown any kind of form, to be honest. And he has played a few games this season, but unfortunately for him, he's not really shown enough of it this season, to be honest. So I think he's a player that I wouldn't be surprised if he did leave at the end of the season. Jordan Barry, to be honest. He does try, to be honest, at times, but I mean, I wasn't there last night, so I can't really comment on what he was like last night. But I'm hoping he's another player that can pick up as the season goes along. But I won't be surprised to see him moved on at the end of the season, if I'm being honest. But it's just a shame he's not shown that kind of form he did last season, to be fair, Bowery. But hopefully he can pick up soon. Let's have a look. Coleman, and hopefully get 3 points at Stevenage. Let's keep this run going. Just shows you a couple of good results and everyone buzzing again. Well, this is in football, how the opinion changes. I mean, it was only a few weeks ago people was going Clough out, let's get somebody else in, a couple of wins and that's it. You're thinking, hey up, and it changes. But that's what I've been saying for weeks now. That's all it takes in football. A couple of wins and then all of a sudden things start looking a bit more brighter. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still a long way to go. Let's not make any mistake about that. We still obviously need to get up higher in the league table. There's no doubt about that. We still need to improve on that front. So we are still a long way off from where we want to be. Obviously, we want to be challenging at the top half of the table. And so far in the league, we haven't. I think that's a fair assessment. We haven't. We've not been anywhere near good enough at this point in the league. But having said that, the last three results does show you, having 3 wins on the bounce, that, if we can do that in the league, then again, we'll soon climb up that league table, and hopefully we can do. Hopefully we can take the form we've got going now in the Cup into the league, and Saturday's a massive opportunity to do that, You look at the teams that we've got this month, we've obviously got the likes of Stevenage, Crawley, Sutton, and they're all winnable games. I mean, all due respect to them teams, but they are winnable games on paper. And it's one of them, they're not that's really had a great start either. So, we have got a massive opportunity to get points from them games. And again, hopefully we can do that, So it's a big opportunity for us to show that, really. Let's have a look. Paul, I agree. Barry is a good lad, tries hard and has a good work rate. However, unfortunately, he isn't an out-and-out striker. Well, he's not, Ross, and that's the thing. He's a bit like Jamie Reid in that respect. He'll run his socks off here. You know what I mean? And I said that to Mike last night. It was a Stevenage fan. He runs his socks off, and you can't fault his work rate. But like you say, he's not going to get you 20 odd goals. The most he'll get you is 10. Which I thought was good for him last season, to be honest. I didn't really expect him to score 10 goals last season, Barry, and that's nothing against him. I was surprised, to be honest, but, unfortunately he hasn't really showed that same kind of goal-scoring form so far this season. I mean, I know there's still a lot of games to be played in that, but obviously you've got the likes of Hawkins when he can go back up front and Johnson in front of him. But the thing is, to be honest with you, I don't know if any of you agree on this really, but I'd have Jordan Bowery out wide as a winger than I would a striker. I would. I'd definitely try him out wide than I would up front because I think he's quite all right down that wing. I'd have him more as a winger than I would a striker, if I'm being honest with you. Maybe that could be a better position for him, but yeah, I wouldn't have I wouldn't mind that, to be honest with you, because I think he looks quite decent down the wing from what I've seen of him when he's played there. I don't know if any of you agree on that, but I think he would be suited there more than up front, really. Let's get down some more comments. Paul, Quinn should definitely be captain. Ollie Clark is too silent for my money. Yeah, he is, and that's the thing. That's the thing about captains. For any captain in any team, you want them to be vocal, commanding. And again, like we were saying a few weeks ago, I'm not doubting he's not like that on the training pitch or in the changing room, because obviously we don't know what happens behind closed doors. But on the pitch, you want your captains to be more commanding, and that's what you want from your players. You want to hear your captains shout, and not so much be in your face, but just be like a manager on the pitch, really. But yeah, 100% agree. I'd have Quinn as captain every day of the week, to be honest with you. I really would. 100%. I really would. Let's get down some of your comments. I don't know why it's not coming up, this one. Here we go. Ross, James Gale was great last night, deserved a goal, and I thought everyone played their part. I know we are talking about Stags playing an under-21 side. However, that performance last night was very promising for the Stags reserves. Well, the thing is, like I say, Ross, it doesn't matter who you play. You can only beat what's put in front of you. It doesn't matter if it's an under-21 side, if it's a friendly. Because at the end of the day, a win's a win. And especially for, like you say, these youngsters like James Gale and your Jason Laws and your Tyree St. Clairs and other young players that we've got at the club. They're not going to play first team football week in and week out for the Stags, and that's not nothing on them. It's just the competition in front of them. So in cases like that, I think it's a good that in the EFL Trophy to give them a chance. But that's the only thing I could say positive about it. But yeah, it's great to hear James Gale perform well. I know he set up Johnson for his first goal, and he had an all-round good performance from what everyone's been telling me that went to the game, and it's great to hear and see, and it's same for the other younger players as well, and hopefully they can learn from that experience and just improve from it, really. But yeah, it's great to hear and come off it when you've scored 6 goals, and when you win by that much, it's hard not to take notice of that. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people have really took note of that, and again, a win's a win. Doesn't matter. It's good for confidence, and it definitely gives Nigel a lot to think about ahead of this weekend going into the Stevenage game, especially Johnson, who got a hat trick. I mean, if a player scores a hat trick, you'd be daft not to consider him, to be honest with you. But it's going to be an interesting team selection ahead of this weekend, because when you've been on a good winning run, it's, as a manager, it's a good headache to have, isn't it, really? Because you think to yourself, well, so many of these players have played well in the cup match, and it must be hard for any manager to have, but it's a good headache to have, really, to be honest. So yeah, it gives Nigel food for thought going into it, really. So all round, it's fantastic. Let's have a look at one of your comments, guys. Coal Miner Man, I know league more important, but what a draw in FA Cup. Doncaster away, got to take a couple of thousand there. I think that fixture might be moved from Saturday. Yeah, like I was saying earlier on, I believe Barnes has got Huddersfield, or there's some kind of South Yorkshire derby, so I would be very surprised if it wasn't. I would be surprised if it was on the Saturday. Like I say, we don't know when it's going to be played on. They did say from Friday to Monday, I think they said. So it could be Friday night, it could be Sunday tea time, it could be Monday night. We just don't know at this stage. But whenever it is, it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere in the away end. And again, it's a big chance for us to go through to the second round. I mean, Doncaster, like I say, they've had a poor start to their season so far. And if we can go there and perform like we did against Sunderland, then we've got a chance. But I think it is a fantastic draw. I mean, yeah, you want a home draw ideally in the FA Cup, but it's only up the road, Doncaster, and let's be honest, it's the only local derby we'll get this season. So again, it's I think it's a fantastic draw. But like you say, of course, you want to focus on on the league. That's the most important priority. But I'm one of them. I just love a good cup run, and it's good that we're in the second round and we've got a chance of going through to the third round. To be honest, so yeah, really buzzing for that, and I've got no doubt that the club will sell out the away end, and I'm just really looking forward to it. It's going to be a fantastic game. Really looking forward to it. Let's have a look. Here we go. Let's have a look. John seems to be a calm presence in the middle of the park. Yeah, he. I presume you mean John Joe O'Toole. Like I say, he's only been here a few weeks, and he's slotted in really well. To be honest, it usually takes players quite a while to get settled in, getting used to the players. But that's what I mean with John Joe O'Toole. He's been around in football for quite a few years, and obviously someone Nigel knows quite well. I haven't worked with him at Burton, so it's always good when you've got players that are that experienced. And again, he's slotted in perfectly well, and he may be the missing link we've got in defence alongside Rawson as well. So I mean, what he does as well, if he can keep performing well in defence alongside Rawson, then you'd like to think Ollie Hawkins can go back up front, because as impressive he has been in defence, Hawkins, it's his goal scoring that we're really missing from him, to be honest. And, if John Joe O'Toole can keep performing well, keeping himself fit and injury free, then again, it can prove to be a really good signing. But yeah, like I say, he's done really well since he's come into the club. Long may that continue. Let's get down to some of your comments. Chris, excuse me. I agree. League and FA Cup main focuses. If nothing to play for in the league, then I would take FA Cup run or run an EFL trophy. Well, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I say this from our point of view as well. If we went through to the knockout stages of the EFL trophy, then there would be the odd few fans that would be tempted, because if it's a day out at Wembley and you're that close, I think a few fans would be tempted, to be honest with you. Me being one of them, I'll be honest. But at the same time, though, I mean, FA Cup and the league are two main priorities. I mean, especially the league as well. Obviously, the league is a big priority to us. You've seen, so far this season, our league position's been nowhere near good enough, and hopefully we can soon change that. But yeah, they're the two main big draws for clubs, really. It is. Chris again, Doncaster is winnable for you lot. I was thinking the same when we got drawn out at home to Shrewsbury. Another League One team struggling, home advantage for us as well. You just never know. Well, no, that's it, Chris. You've got to look into it, and at the end of the day, with full of confidence to the minute. And again, when you're playing teams that are struggling, they're the best times to play them, really. I mean, when we played Sunderland, they just came off, I think, a run of 3 losses in a row. So we played them, and we capitalised on that. So it's always good to play a team when they're out of form and you're in form. Well, usually the case anyway. I know it doesn't always pan out like that in football, but yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a winnable game, to be honest. All due respect to Doncaster, but anything can happen in the cup, and you've seen it before. I mean, look at Forest Green; they got knocked out by St Albans, and I don't know if it's because Forest Green took the game lightly, or St Albans on the night, should I say, they were just second to none. They were working the socks off. So it just shows you anything can happen in the cup, So yeah, confident going into it. Really am. Let's have a look. Mansfield can play with no pressure versus Doncaster. As if we've been honest, it's League 2 team versus League 1 team. You would normally expect the League 1 team to win, as they're at League above, but it's the FA Cup. Well, that's it. I mean, it's one of them. I know in the Cup, leagues, teams above you, they might not take it as seriously, or they could take you lightly because you're a league below. But again, it always just depends on how both teams approach it. Now, I don't know about Sunderland, to be honest. I'm not sure if they took us lightly or anything, but all I know is we performed well, and again, we deserved the victory. We worked hard. Every player got stuck in and worked their socks off for that win. And again, if we can perform a similar way against Doncaster, then we've got a chance. So, yeah, going into it with massive confidence, huge confidence. Absolutely. Paul Mark, have you heard Oates is injured? Any news? Yeah, Nigel said that last night he's got a bit of an injury. I think it's a groin injury or of some kind, I think. I'm not quite sure how long he's out for. Hopefully it's not a long-term thing. It doesn't sound like it is, but he didn't really give a time frame out, so I'm not sure if it's a doubt for this weekend's game. Hopefully it's just something small and he'll be available for this weekend, but I'm not quite sure how serious the injury is, to be honest with you, Paul, but it's just our looking at when we have a player in form and all of a sudden he picks up an injury. So hopefully it's nothing serious, but I think if it was anything serious, I think Nigel would have said any sooner. So we're not quite sure, to be honest with you. I'm not quite. Just have to wait, if anything, but I'm hoping it's nothing as serious. But at this moment in time, I don't know what timescale to really put it on, if I'm honest. Let's have a look. Paul, cheers, Mark. Just all okay. Well, it isn't it? As soon as we start showing a good run of form and the players actually start, looking quite decent, and it's just a stag's look, isn't it? It is. It really is. Ross would be happy to sign Stirk in the summer. Played excellent last night. However, the only thing he is laughing, in my opinion, his height, which I think the whole Stags team lacks in pace to some extent. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he's not the tallest and he might not be the biggest of players, but it's his ability on the ball that counts. That's what matters, really, to be honest with you. I mean, in League Two, a lot of players are physical, but yeah, he's one of them, isn't he? Though he's good on the ball, he gets things moving, and he's another player that's going to be such a big influential player when he's back to full fitness as well. So yeah, he's someone that I'm hoping can get back to that same kind of form before he got injured, because he looked real talent. I don't know if we could sign him in the summer. I'm not going to rule it out. Only reason I'm saying that is because I believe Birmingham signed him on to like a 3 or 4 year contract. So I'm not sure if they see him as part of their plans in the future. I don't know. But if he's available, then absolutely. But I'm not sure if of how much he's valuable to Birmingham, or I don't know, to be honest with you on that one. But yeah, he's a good little player, and every time you see him, he just gets better, to be honest. And long may that continue for us. Yeah, like I say. We're going into the game against Stevenage with massive confidence, coming off on the back of three fantastic results. One in the league and 2 in the cups, one of which second round. So again, it's just so much positivity all around, really. I mean, this is a thing this weekend. Obviously, having had the impressive victory last night against Newcastle in the Pete's. That's what I'm going to keep calling it, the Peachtree Trophy, because that's what it is. If you're Nigel Clough, would you make any changes to that lineup going into this weekend, or would you keep it the same as the team that beat Sunderland in the FA Cup? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. So if you're Nigel Clough, would you make any changes going into the match this weekend? I mean, personally speaking, no. Because if it's not broke, don't fix it. You don't want to change your winning team, But then again, having said that, though, I think there's going to be a couple of players we're going to be without. George Lapsley as well. He's picked up a slight knock as well, so I don't know if he'll be available for this weekend. So barring injuries, I wouldn't really make that many changes personally, but it's one of them. I think you'd have to be tempted to put Johnson in there, scoring a hat trick. I mean, you'd have to consider Johnson in there. For scoring a hat trick, you'd have to be thinking about putting him in there. But again, it just depends on who's available, if anything. I think that's what it comes down to. I think if Reece Oakes is injured and if he can't play, then 100% put Johnson in. Obviously, it'd be a suitable replacement. Having Daddy Johnson in place of Reece Oakes if his injury is not healed up in time. But again, we're not sure how serious that is. Nigel's not actually put a time scale on it, so at the time of speaking, we don't know how long he's going to be out for. But it's just our luck we get a key player out for us when we're doing well. But that's just football, sadly. It goes like that. But yeah, as I say, guys, it's so amazing coming on here and just talking about a couple of good wins on the bounce. And again, we know we've got the potential to do this. We've just got to obviously keep it up, really. Like we've been saying for weeks, and now we've actually started to show we're actually capable of doing that. We just need to do it in the league, and we'll soon climb up the table. Paul, yes, Johnson, confidence must be high, maybe bring in the new lad, JJ O'Toole. Well, yeah, like I say, Paul, I'd keep it more of the same, bar injuries, because again, you don't want to change your winning team. Obviously we played so well in that game, and again, I think it'll be harsh on the players to drop any of them from it, really. Everybody played well in that match, and I'd keep it more of the same. You know what I mean? You don't want to change a winning team unless you have to, but no, I'd keep it the same. But obviously, I always ask this question because, obviously fans have got different opinion on what they change or what have you. But, I mean, even some of the younger players, though, to be honest with you, though, who played last night, James Dale, for example, had an exceptional game. He could be a player that could be on the bench, might be able to come on for the last 20 minutes or so, depending on how the game pans out. And Ryan Sturkey's not far off from starting as well. So again, we've got some players coming back now from injuries that will hopefully have a big impact for us. I mean, we've been saying this for weeks now. When some of these players are coming back from their injuries, that we hope that they can improve us. And I think it's already shown with Stephen Quinn since he's come back from his suspension. He's given us that much needed energy and experience in midfield. And so far with John Joe O'Toole, since he's been in defence, he's shown that calmness in there. But it kind of reminds me of Perch with his calmness on the ball. He's looked really solid back there, and again, if he can carry that on, and then I think it could be a big signing for us, to be honest. I mean, obviously, you don't want to look too far ahead. You don't want to get carried away with anything. But again, it's just. We just want to try and take each game as it comes and just see what happens. But yeah, I think it's the first time going into a game this weekend that you generally do feel confident, to be honest. And we've got every chance of going down there to Stevenage and getting a result. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game because they've had a couple of good results as well. They had a good draw against MK Dons in the FA Cup, so they've got a replay against them. And if they beat MK Dons, and they've got Yeovil away, so it's potentially they could get through to the third round if they can beat MK Dons at the Lamex. And they went through in the EFL Trophy last night, so they're in a similar kind of form as us, Stevenage. So they'll be approaching it like us, full of confidence. So it's two teams in a similar position in the league, and they'll be wanting to get maximum points. So it's a massive game for both teams. Stevenage, like I say, they're similar to ourselves in the league. Haven't had the best of starts, and so they'll be wanting to try and get some more wins on the board as well. So it's going to be a tough game on Saturday. It is, but I still feel confident we can get something from it, though. I generally do feel confident. Excuse me. Coleman, Johnson, got to start for Saturday match, definitely. Yeah, I mean, you'd be stupid not to consider a player that scored an hat-trick. I mean, he's got to be in consideration, surely, because, it's one of them, like with any player that performs well, you've got to think, well, you've got to consider that. But then again, the tough thing will be if Reece Oates' injury is not as serious, and he can start, and touch wood, it's nothing serious for him. It's one of them. Who do you make room for? To be honest, that's the only thing really. But yeah, you've definitely got to consider Johnson, absolutely. But again, it's a good headache to have for a manager when you've been banging form and you've got players that's knocking on your door wanting to play as well, and it can only bode well for the team as well. And hopefully this has kickstarted Danny Johnson's season as well, because he's obviously not really shown. He showed glimpses of what he's about, Johnson, but he's not scored as many as he'd have liked so far this season. But I mean, come off it, when you score an hat-trick, I mean, it shows you that he's got it in him, which we know that he's got it in him too, because you don't just score that many goals to be rubbish. I'm sorry, you don't. You know what I mean? It's just confidence again, and if you can keep doing that week in and week out, then again he'll soon get up the goal scoring charts. But yeah, like I say, we've got a Stevenage interview preview as well tomorrow. I'm going to be posting that up tomorrow night. I spoke to Stevenage fan Mike, gave us a lowdown on everything on their side, and they'll be approaching it the same way as us, to be honest with you. So I'll be posting that up on the page tomorrow. And again, I generally do feel confident into this game, and I don't see why we can't make it 4 wins from 4, to be honest with you. And it's this time of the show now where I ask the fans for their predictions, and you know what? I'm going to say Stags win. I'm going to go for 2-1 Stags. I'm going to say 2-1 Stags. I'm so confident that we'll go down there and get the 3 points. The way we're playing, the confidence that we're showing, and I think we can get the win this weekend and start climbing up that league table. I don't see any reason why we can't. All due respect to Stevenage, I think they're similar to us really. They've got some decent players, and I don't think they're as bad looking at their squad as you'd think. But I think we've got enough in us to go there and get the 3 points. I don't see why not. Paul, 3-1 to us. Yeah, 100%. I do honestly think we'll get the win. I 100% do. I feel confident the players can really do it for us. But yeah, like I say, I'll keep you guys updated on things as well regarding the Doncaster FA Cup draw. Like I say, we're not sure when that date's going to be played on. We'll have to obviously keep an eye on that, and I'll be posting it on the page when that will be as well. So just going to keep my eyes out for that one. Coleman and on Scrappy 1-0 win to Stags. Yeah. I don't see, 100%. I'd take any of them wins, to be honest. Doesn't matter how you win it, just get a win. Chris, Stevenage, winnable game for you lot. Yeah, I mean, I'd say so. All due respect to them. But I mean, not just Stevenage, but like I said earlier, we've got Crawley as well, Sutton as well, and they're teams that's not really in the best of form as well. So this month is such a big month for us in terms of picking up points, because we're playing teams in and around us, and if you can get points from teams in and around you, then you're laughing, aren't you? And that's what I mean. A couple of wins in the league and that's it. You're not far from the playoffs. So this is what all it takes in this division, as we know. A couple of wins and that's it. Everything's looking a lot more rosier. So we just need to carry on that form we've been showing and just take it into the league. And then obviously when we come up to play Doncaster, hopefully we can, get a result there and get through to the next round. But obviously, we don't want to look too far ahead, like we say. Obviously, you've got to take each game as it comes, obviously. But no, I don't see why we can't go up down there and get a positive result, really. And Chris Welch, 3-2 to Mansfield, my prediction. Yeah, I'll take any of them. I'll take any of them results, guys. But no, I don't see any reason why we can't do that, to be honest. But yes, once again, guys, for commenting as well and watching this podcast. I really do appreciate you taking your time out of your evening, as always, and getting involved with your comments. I'm just having everything, having your say on things. Let's read one of your comments as well, just the last one. Chris, still 30 games remaining in League Two season, a long way to go. Yeah, it is, Chris, and that's it, And like I say, I keep referring to this all the time, I know, and people must get sick of me saying this because I've had people saying you always say this, Mark, but look at Bolton. Why can't we be like that? Why can't we turn our season around by doing that? You know what I mean? And there's still plenty of time to do that, and hopefully we can have a similar story to that. So why not? Let's go for it. We've got some momentum going now, and let's keep it up. Let's go. Come on, man. Up the Stags, Mark. We are back. Yeah, finally. It's took long enough, hasn't it? It's took long enough, hasn't it? But yes, finally we started to show, glimpses of what we can do in this league. And again, let's hope we can kick up this league, and actually start looking up. But so far they are, and let's hope we can continue that. Let's have a look. Movie comments. Paul, cheers, Mark. Good debate again. Keep well, all. Yeah, you too, Paul. Thanks again. Thank you again, Cole Man, Chris, and everybody else that commented and watched this podcast tonight. Appreciate the support. If you finish watching me as well after as well, I think Mansfield Matters have gone live. So if you want to check them guys out as well, and I'm sure they'll be having similar debates to myself as well. So be sure to check them out as well. But so yeah, again. Let's just go for it, we've got full of confidence and yeah, let's do it. And, next time we speak, hopefully we'll be talking about 3 more points, which will take us further up the league and let's just do it. Let's go for it, Chris, it takes one defeat from both of us and people will be like, here we go again. It is, isn't it? That's it. That's it, mate. That's it. And take care, mate. Great stream. And telling as always, thank you for the calm words, Chris. And I'm sure it's the same for you guys at Carlisle. Really, it's just you're in the same boat as us. It's just about consistency, so. Let's hope both teams can do that over the coming season. But yeah, thanks again, guys. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week as well. And let's all hope we can all have an amazing weekend with Stags 3 points and climb up this table. Thanks again, guys. All the best. Take care. See ya.